Giving all praise and honor to Jehovah, our God, the King of the universe. Thanking Him for our lives, thanking Him for strength and good health, for the opportunity to call upon His great name, to call upon His mighty name, and to know that He is the one that keeps us alive. And therefore, as He's keeping us alive, we have to make sure that we serve Him with all of our life. We ask that He would teach us knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, so that we may learn how to conduct ourselves before Him, so that we may walk in an upright path before Him all the days of our lives. We thank you for the opportunity to know that this is a holy day. So we have separated ourselves, made sure we didn't go to work, we didn't go to school. But we made sure that we separated ourselves from last evening up until this evening. And we ask that the Most High God would show us favor for our attempt to serve Him on this day. We ask that He would show us favor for eating clean. We ask that He would show us favor for worshiping Him and calling upon His name alone. We ask that He would show us favor for acknowledging that we are the children of the covenant, the children of Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, and allow us to be a part of the gathering of the nation of Yisrael as His word continues to go forth. With that I say Shabbat Shalom Lekem.
Shabbat Shalom Lekem.
And at this time we're going to go into the book of Proverbs, and we're going to be reading chapter 4. Continuing on with the series of Proverbs as we started weeks ago and continue to do week by week, and the wisdom of the Proverbs, the understanding of the Proverbs would teach us how to live. For we know that the wisdom and the understanding of the Proverbs would lead us back to the instructions of the Most High God. It would lead us back to the Torah and allow us the opportunity to find favor in His sight, so that He may bless us and that we may be successful in the things that we do before Him. So as it says in the beginning of the Proverbs, we know that this is Melech Shalomo, that has given forth this wisdom and His understanding, and the things that he acquired throughout his life, that he's able to dispense unto others that we haven't written for us at this time, that we can read the words of Melech Shalomo and also gain wisdom, because we know that we read that he was the wisest man that lived upon the face of the earth, and he experienced many things. So he has a lot to say based on the experiences that he went through.
We're in the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 1. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hear ye children the instruction of a father, and attend to know understanding. For I give you good doctrine. Forsake ye not my teaching.
So Melech Shalomo's teacher is speaking to everybody, basically, and as he says, the instruction of a father, because he's going to continue saying that he received instructions from his father.
Yeah.
So the instructions that he's given is that he knows that his father, Melech Dawid, gave him this information, and he utilized it in his life, and he was able to go through life experiences with that wisdom and understanding. And instead of bottling up that information that his father taught him, now he's teaching everybody to follow this, follow these instructions, because these were the instructions that were given unto him. So that even when we read in his life that he turned aside from the Most High God, these teachers were within him, so he always has something to fall back on. So all of us are children of parents, whether we know it or not. So when he says, hear the instruction of a father, this is like the father speaking to a child, and the child is supposed to receive these instructions and these good doctrines. Continue.
Verse 3. For I was a son unto my father, tender and an only one in the sight of my mother. And he taught me and said unto me, let thy heart hold fast my words, keep my commandments, and live.
And we know the history of Shalomo, Melech Shalomo, that to his father, his father had many sons before him, but by the time, he was born, Melech Dawid was, near the end of his life, but he was able to spend a lot of time with Shalomo and raising him up, because this was near the end of his kingdom. So I mean, when I say the end of his kingdom, not that it was the year before, not like Shalomo was born and then Melech Dawid died, but this was the end where we read where Melech Dawid was holding back, or was told to fall back from going to war. So he had more time in the house to raise up Shalomo and teach him the things that he needed to be taught, as opposed to early in his life where he was always going out to war, always conquering the Edomites, conquering the Moabites. So therefore, his older sons, Absalom, Amnon, they were, as we read in history, they did what they wanted to do, whenever they felt like it, because they didn't get that close personal attention. But Shlomo was saying that in the sight of his father, when he was raising him up, he was precious Shlomo was precious to Melech Dawid. He said he was the only one of his mother.
Yeah.
So therefore, we know that his mother was Bathsheba.
Yeah.
So he had both his father and his mother, spending all of their time teaching Shlomo. So therefore, that's why he was able to acquire the wisdom that he received. And his father told him, this is a quote, he said, "Let thy heart hold fast my words, keep my commandments, and live." So he's telling him to follow the commandments that I give you. Because children, as we are commanded to honor our father and our mother. So even along with the commandments of the Most High God, parents would give us commandments that we're bound to live by. So that therefore, we read in history that there were certain families that had things that they did, even if their father wasn't alive, but their father commanded them to do certain things. So therefore, they followed the commandments of their parents all the days of their life. Continue.
Verse 4, "And he taught me, and said unto me, Let thy heart hold fast my words, keep my commandments, and live. Get wisdom, get understanding. Forget not, neither decline from the words of my mouth. Forsake her not, and she will preserve thee. Love her, and she will keep thee."
So we read all throughout Proverbs and also throughout prophecy as well in the Torah that there's three things that we know about: knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So here, Shlomo is saying to get wisdom and get understanding. But we know we also have to get knowledge as well. But the difference is, like, knowledge is basically information. All of us have access to acquire knowledge. Wisdom is using the knowledge that you acquired, or the information that you acquired, to achieve the best result or the desired result. And understanding is knowing why that actually worked. Because you can have wisdom without the understanding, but that doesn't, you can still live a good life, and the Most High God blesses you with that wisdom because you follow that wisdom. It's like with cooking. Knowledge is, there's ingredients. So you just know that there's ingredients. But with the same ingredients that are there, there's people that cook different ways. Everybody may have rice and peas, but not everybody knows how to make rice and peas properly. It's the same ingredients, but it takes that wisdom to know how to make the rice and peas better than somebody else. So that's the wisdom. Once again, knowledge is the ingredients: rice, peas. Also, the knowledge is temperature and time. All that's in the factor. Wisdom would tell you that peas takes longer to cook than the rice.
That's right.
So the wisdom would tell you, soak the peas first, then you cook it with the rice at the same time, and then you keep it at a low fire so everything can cook properly at the same time.
And don't forget
that's wisdom. The understanding is knowing that because knowing that the peas takes longer, that's why you would actually have to soak it.
Right.
That's the understanding behind it. Wisdom is soak it first. The understanding is knowing why you have to soak it first. Wisdom is, knowledge is, if you want to put a hole in the wall, you get a drill. That's just knowledge. Wisdom is, I'm going to get a masonry bit for concrete wall and a wood bit for wood wall. Understanding is, the masonry bit has a spade on the end of it, so therefore it's going to drill through the concrete better than a wood bit.
All right, carpenter.
Knowledge is, the Knicks are not a good team.
Whoa!
Wisdom is if you're gonna play them, you don't have to play your starters past 20 minutes. Because the understanding behind it is that you're gonna burn out your starters playing the team that the bench could beat. So that's your knowledge, your wisdom, and your understanding.
He has no understanding.
Just to give an understanding of the difference between knowledge, wisdom, and understanding.
Too far. Going too far now.
So that's the difference. Okay.
Wisdom is changing the subject.
Let me help Chief Wizard with this one. Knowledge is, Cespedes is a good hitter.
Yes.
So if I have a left-handed pitcher on the mound, somebody's on second with 1 out, and Granderson is coming up after, that's the knowledge that you have. That wisdom would tell you, walk Cespedes and pitch the left-handed pitcher to Granderson. The understanding is, Granderson is not good against left-handed pitchers. So that's the difference between knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So, there you go.
Although Henderson, well,
He doesn't bat after just to get that understanding. I know he doesn't bat after in the lineup, but just to help you out, since I said the knowledge is the Knicks are not a good team. So let's continue. They won 10 games. I mean, come on.
That was 1 year
Continue.
old.
Verse 7. The beginning of wisdom is get wisdom. Yea, with all thy getting, get understanding.
So that's why he's saying, you're going to get wisdom. No, that's the primary thing. It doesn't speak of knowledge here because knowledge being the information is accessible to anybody.
Right.
Knowledge is just read a book and you retain that information. Wisdom, once again, is knowing how to utilize that information or that knowledge properly. So that's why he says the beginning of wisdom is get wisdom.
Get wisdom.
Meditating that knowledge to figure out how you're going to get the desired result from everything that you study.
Right.
So because that's how you get success. There's another word, we know that chachma is the word for wisdom, and there's also another word in Hebrew called sakah, which also is translated as wisdom, but also means success. Because through wisdom, that's how you become successful.
Right.
Because you utilize the tools that you were given to acquire that desired result, or to acquire that succession in life and everything that you try to do. So he's saying the beginning of wisdom is get wisdom, and he said with all that getting, get understanding. Use all of your resources to try to figure out why things work this way and why things don't work that way. So you utilize your resources, your money to buy books. You utilize your time, because your time is part of your resources, to spend time in studying so that you can get that understanding on figuring out why things work the way that they do. So now when you try to go forth and doing things in wisdom, you're able to figure out how to get that desired result because you got the wisdom in the beginning and then you acquired the understanding. Continue.
Verse 8. Extol her, and she will exalt thee. She will bring thee to honor when you do embrace her. She will give to your head a chaplet of grace, a crown of glory will she bestow on thee.
So basically with that wisdom, you're able to achieve heights. So you don't have to try to put yourself on those heights, because through wisdom, through spending time studying, through acquiring understanding, he's saying that wisdom herself, personifying wisdom as a woman, she herself will promote you.
Yeah.
She herself will push you. So it's not about you, it's about the wisdom that you acquire from the Most High God.
Amen.
So once again, wisdom is personified as that woman, because as a man marries a wife, men would marry also wisdom, and through that wisdom, the wisdom would exalt you and push you forward. Like Shahar just said, that whatever Chief started to do, she's able to do. So with that same parallel, that wisdom will be there to help you whenever you're falling in one area. The wisdom will be able to kick in and allow you to achieve that success in life. Continue.
Verse 10. Hear, O my son, and receive my sayings, and the years of thy life shall be many. I have taught thee in the way of wisdom. I have led thee in the paths of uprightness. When thou goest, thy steps shall not be straitened, and if thou runnest, thou shalt not stumble. Take fast hold of instruction, let her not go. Keep her, for she is thy life.
So Menet Shalom was going back to what his father was telling him. That receive my sayings. Everything that I've taught you all of these years, make sure that you take hold of this. Take hold fast of that. In verse 13, it says, take fast hold of instruction. In the Hebrew, I believe that's the verse where it uses the word musar. Musar is actually correction or reprimand. So accept when people reprimand you. Accept when people try to correct you. So that's most books, they do translate the instruction, but musar is actually correction or reprimand. That you take hold fast of that. If somebody's telling you that you're doing something wrong, don't get upset. Take that in so you can make changes and improve your ways, because that's the Most High God speaking to you through somebody else to give you the wisdom that you're looking for, to make sure that you make those right choices. So that's why he's saying, get your wisdom, get your understanding, but also accept it when people reprimand you. Accept it when people are saying what you're doing is not right. Accept when people say do this a different way or make changes in your life. Don't do that, but do this instead. And therefore, as I said earlier, that the wisdom would add years to your life, because you would not make mistakes that will cause the Most High God to strike you down early in life. Because you're living in that wisdom, you're following the path that the Most High God has laid out. And therefore, when you go, your steps won't be straight, meaning that you'll have room to move about. As you're stepping, as I said, that step should not be straightened, or it should not be constricted. So you're able to walk freely. And when thou runnest, you won't stumble. You're able to, when a runner wants to run straight without any stumbling blocks and without anything in the way. So that's the wisdom in life. that wisdom allows you to run through life without falling down. And if you do fall down, then it said take hold of that correction. So, people are trying to pick you up. They're not trying to put you down when they tell you something about what you're doing that's wrong. Continue.
Verse 14. Enter not into the path of the wicked, and walk not in the way of evil men. Avoid it. Pass not by it. Turn from it and pass on.
So Melech Dawid is telling Shlomo that stay away from those evil people.
Yeah.
Because he's saying that, Melech Dawid is basically saying, I'm not going to be alive forever. So therefore I'm teaching you to look out for evil people. Don't make evil people your crowd. So as it says earlier that, all of us should hear the instruction of a father. So all of us should learn to stay away from evil people. Amen. That we should avoid the path of evil people. That we should not pass by that way. We should turn from it and pass on. It's like the Psalm 1 where it said that, I'll just read it real quick. Just the beginning of Psalm 1.
Blessed man that walking after the counsel of the ungodly.
Yeah.
That stands in the way of the sinner. That sits in the seat of the scornful.
There you go.
And it is all that he meditate day and night.
I just wanted to begin the part where you stay away from the scornful, those that, deceitful, all those evil people. You don't stand with them. Like in the psalm it says you don't stand with them, you don't sit with them, and you don't walk with them. You have nothing to do with evil people. Because if you're gonna live if you want to say you live in a righteous life, you want to say you're an Israelite following Torah, there should be no evil people in your circle. And you should not be in any evil person's circle as well. Avoid them, do not pass by them, turn from them, and pass on because of this.
Verse 16. For they sleep not, except they have done evil. And their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall.
Because evil people, all they can think about is doing evil. So they would never be able to have a peaceful night's sleep unless they did something evil during the day. And when they have people around them, they want people around them to do the same thing. So if you live in your life day by day with evil people, and they can't go to sleep at night without doing something evil, they're going to influence you to do something evil as well. And then eventually, you're going to be that person that can't go to sleep at night unless you do something evil to somebody else. Because as I said, the evil person, that's what they want to do all day, and they'll stay up late at night until they achieve some sort of evil act. Whether they steal from somebody, they murder somebody, whatever it is that's evil, they can't go to sleep at night peacefully unless they did somebody else wrong. Continue.
17. For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence.
So the righteous people eat food in order to live. Wicked people, they eat the bread of wickedness and the wine of violence. That's all that they're involved with. Wickedness and violence. Violence and wickedness. That's all they want to do. They all they want to do is catch wreck. People that just live their life. They just want to catch wreck today. They can't, if they don't catch wreck today, then it's not a good day. They go crazy. So people know people like that, and when they catch a wreck, or they gotta go boost, they gotta go steal from the corner store, they gotta do something throughout the day. So it's teaching us, stay away from those type of people, because they're gonna involve you in that as well. And you can say, well, I'm not gonna be stealing, but you can be blamed for being a lookout person. Because your cameras are everywhere now. You standing next to that person that did that, and now you're an accessory to the crime, and because that was your friend. But acting a concert, that's what they're gonna say, conspiracy or whatever charges they're gonna throw on you, because you surrounded yourself with evil people and you already received instructions. Stay away from evil people. So they get caught up, and it's like later on in the Proverbs, the net goes out and sweeps up everybody. It's like the net goes in the water, and if you may be fishing for salmon, the net catches the salmon and everything in there, the crabs and everything in there, and sweeps it all up. So you could be that, not only the crab actually stays in the bottom of the ocean, so you could be that, whatever it is, that gets swept up when the person was fishing for salmon, because the net grabs up everybody. Continue.
Verse 18. But the path of the righteous is as the light of dawn, that shines more and more unto the perfect day. The ways of the wicked is as darkness. They know not at what they stumble.
So when you live in that righteous life and you're walking in that righteous path, as it explains it, like the light of dawn, because the sun continues to rise from dawn, and it says shine more and more until the perfect day, or until noonday, because when you live in a righteous life, there is no perfect righteousness. It's always improvements in your life. But when it talks about the wicked, darkness is just darkness. That's all it is. So they don't, when they're falling down, they can't see why they're stumbling. But when you live in that righteous life, things become clear to you day by day. So it's comparing that as the sun is rising and is giving us light more and more throughout the day. That's when you live in a righteous life, because day by day you're making improvements in your life and you're not falling backwards in the things you're doing. But once again, when you're wicked, it's just darkness. When you fall down, you don't know what took you down, because you're just living in that darkness. There's no gradual darkness and there's no recession of darkness. Darkness is darkness. But you can have gradual light, as it says, shining more and more, because you want to make that improvement day by day, being a righteous person. Continue.
Verse 20, my son, attend to my words. Incline thine ear unto my sayings. Let them not depart from thine eyes. Keep them in the midst of thy heart. For they are life unto those that find them, and health to all their flesh. Above all that thou guardest, keep your heart, for out of it are the issues of life.
So once again, Melech Shlomo is repeating what Melech Dawid told him, to keep listening to my words. So even when Melech Dawid is not around, that he's supposed to incline his ear to the sayings that Melech Dawid taught them. And now he's teaching that to all of us. So we're supposed to take heed to these teachings and this understanding, because then as it says, we will receive health to our flesh, because it gives us life. And then it continues to say that above all that thou guardest, keep thy heart. And we know that throughout scripture, and even today when we talk about the heart, we're talking about the mind. So he's saying that guard thy heart above all, with all of that, because it says from out of it are the issues of life. So we have to guard our minds. We have to make sure that we protect our minds, as it says here, because through that we will live. You protect your mind by making sure that things don't enter into your mind that shouldn't enter into it. So we make sure that we stay away, and it's going to give a brief explanation, but we stay away from evil conversations so that evil words don't enter into our minds. We make sure that we stay away from certain type of music, so that the music that we listen to doesn't influence our minds. We make sure that we don't watch certain shows, because certain shows will influence our minds. So it's saying that we keep that above all that thou guardest, keep thy heart, or keep thy mind. Out of everything, you can guard your car, you can guard your house, but make sure you keep your mind, because once you lose your mind, and I know Chief Class said that a few weeks ago, once you lose your mind, there's no getting it back. It's a very slim chance. You could guard your car and you leave it for a minute and leave it unguarded, somebody break into it. You could somehow down the line get another car, through money or whatever, throughout time. Somebody breaking your house, yeah, it's a bad thing, we know that. But through time, that you may be able to replace the broken window, the broken door, and the thing that was stolen out your house. You don't protect your mind for 1 minute and you let something enter in, there's no way of getting that out. And that's what I'm saying, guard your mind above all things, because you don't want to lose your mind. You can lose some money, but don't lose your mind. And that's basically what it's saying here, to guard your mind. So once again, we have to watch the things that we watch the things that we listen to, watch the conversations that we get into, just watch the world around us and know from the precept before, stay away from certain evil things. So therefore they want to accept our minds, because we can read the Torah, read the commandments all we want. But living in a world that influences us to do evil, we start to break down and start to make things acceptable. And we will make things acceptable without even knowing it. We can watch things and say, well, I'm not doing that, but the fact is you're indulging in certain things that you shouldn't be indulging in. You listen to certain music and say, well, I'm just listening to music, it sounds good to me, but you're letting that influence come into you, and then eventually it's going to break you down. So we have to guard our minds. Out of everything that you guard in your life, guard your mind, because you don't want to lose it. Continue.
Verse 24, put away from thee a froward mouth, and perverse lips put far from thee.
And it's not, when it says put away from thee a froward mouth, and perverse lips put far from thee, it's not saying that, of course, you shouldn't have a forward mouth and you shouldn't have perverse lips, but it's saying put those people away from you. People that have that forward mouth always have deceit. That might be the word akwash, which is like crooked. People that always have something crooked to say. They can't speak to you straight. Everything gotta be that winding, that conversation gotta always go. You ask a question, instead of asking the question, answering the question straight,
you don't know what angle they're coming from.
Yeah, you gotta go all of this before you get the answer. So, and then it also say, and perverse lips, those that are speaking slander. People that always have something to say about somebody else. Keep those people away from you, because you don't want to become that type of person as well. Because judge yourself based on the conversation that you have. on a day-to-day basis? Is most of your conversation about somebody else or is it about you? Because chances are, and even if eavesdropping on somebody else, like if you're on a bus or a train, you listen to people on the bus on the phone, usually they talk about somebody else.
Yeah.
They never talk about themselves. It's always a conversation about somebody else and what somebody else is doing. We have to get to the point where we're talking about ourselves. And we can't allow ourselves to be so involved with somebody else's life when they're living their life, but we have to live our lives. And we don't spend enough time trying to improve our lives, but we have something to say about everybody else and the things that they do. And especially when they're not doing anything wrong. Because slander is not reprimand. We spoke about reprimand earlier. Slander is not reprimand.
No, it's not.
Reprimand is somebody doing something wrong. You speak about the wrong that they're doing to make the correction. Slander is they're not doing anything wrong, but you have something to say about them. So it's saying, keep that froward mouth away from you.
Yeah.
Keep that crooked mouth away from the person that has that crooked mouth and the person that has those perverse lips or those slanderous lips. Keep them away from you, so that way you can have a clear mind. Because as I said earlier, you want to guard your mind from all of these things. You want to guard your mind from all of that negative energy that people are putting into you about other people. We have, there's enough hours in the day for us to build ourselves up, as opposed to tearing other people down. And that's the point that we have to get to, that we have to be able to lift each other up, as opposed to tearing other people down, especially when they can't even hear 90% of the stuff that you're talking about them. And that's when it becomes slander, because it's not reprimanding, you're not correcting them, you're just getting other people to tear down somebody along with you. So that's why it's saying, keep those people away from you, the people that have the froward mouth and the perverse lips, keep them away from you. But then it goes on to say,
Verse 25, let thine eyes look right on, and let thine eyelids look straight before thee. Make plain the path of thy feet, and let all your ways be established. Turn not to the right hand nor to the left. Remove thy foot from evil. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. So therefore we want to look straight forward. We want to see the goal that's ahead of us, and that's the direction that we're going. We want to make sure that we walk straight, and the path is plain before us. So we're not worried about what's on the left side or what's on the right side, because we're not going to become crooked and turn into directions. So when we have plans in our minds and positive goals that we want to achieve, we have to make sure that we look in that direction. If righteousness is your goal, just look towards righteousness and don't turn the other way. Make sure that you walk straight, and therefore the Most High will establish our path, beneath us. So we have to make sure that we, as in the final words, it says, remove thy foot from evil. So the basis of this entire chapter, from the beginning to end, was just stay away from evil.
Yeah.
So we have to stay away from people that do evil and make sure that we walk upright in the sight of the Most High God. So therefore He will bless us when we walk before Him, doing what is good and right in His sight. So we thank the Most High God for the opportunity to call upon His name on this day, and praying that He continue to be with us, shield us and protect us, and allow us to live our lives righteously before Him, looking straight forward before us, not turning to the right or to the left. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.